Toy Story 5 marks the return of Pixar's very first and most important movie franchise. So everyone is hyped to see Woody and his friends again. But did you know that a lot of incredible things could happen in this new adventure? Lilypad is innocent. As far as we know, Lilypad is going to be the villain of the movie. She is a kid's tablet, and her arrival at Bonnie's house represents changing times and electronic devices replacing toys, which is very realistic since many kids nowadays prefer using phones or tablets instead of playing with toys. So it makes sense for her to be the villain of a movie about toys. But what if Lilypad is actually good? The movie's marketing is definitely trying to make everyone believe she's evil, but it wouldn't be the first time a movie used marketing to trick audiences and then surprised everyone with a plot twist that is only revealed when the film finally comes out. And honestly, we would all be shocked if we discovered that Lilypad is innocent and that another character is actually responsible for the terrible things that are going to happen in the movie. Besides that, even though there are many problems with children using electronics, such as becoming addicted or being exposed to content that is not appropriate for their age, there is also a positive side. Technology can be used to help accelerate a child's learning, for example. It's possible that the movie wants to teach that there needs to be balance, with children still being able to use tablets and phones as long as their parents are careful so they can benefit from the positive side of those devices. But if Lilypad is not the real villain, then who is? That's what we're going to find out as we talk about the 9 incredible theories you need to know about Toy Story 5.
And if you're not subscribed yet, you know what to do. Click and hit the bell so you don't miss any videos.
Lotso's return. To this day, Toy Story 3 is considered by many to be the best movie in the franchise, and one of the main reasons for that is its villain, Lotso, a pink teddy bear who seems very loving at first, but who quickly revealed himself to be a heartless tyrant controlling Sunnyside Daycare. Because Lotso is so evil and so beloved by fans, some people believe Pixar will bring him back in Toy Story 5 and make him the true villain. Even when he had the chance to redeem himself, he abandoned Woody's gang when they were about to be destroyed in one of the most emotional scenes in the saga, which only proves that he is pure evil. Even so, Lotso is still alive to this day, since Toy Story 3 ended with him becoming an ornament attached to a garbage truck. That is a terrible fate, but after all these years, Lotso could break free and begin his revenge against the ones who defeated him in the past, meaning Woody and his friends. We believe that if this really happens, Lotso will use Lilypad and the other electronic devices created during the time he was trapped on that garbage truck to carry out his revenge. If you pay attention to the Toy Story 5 trailer, you'll notice there's a scene where several coding windows appear on Lilypad's screen, as if she is being hacked. What if Lotso is the one behind that hack, controlling her? Sid's return. As unbelievable as it may sound, it's very possible that Lotso won't be the only villain from a previous movie returning here. Sid, the boy who experimented on toys in the first Toy Story, could also come back. After all, he is probably the most iconic antagonist in the entire franchise, and we believe Sid will have a major role. Want to know why? There's a very high chance that he is Lilypad's creator. Yes, that sounds a little bizarre, but it actually makes sense when you think about it carefully. Sid was last seen as an adult garbage man in a single scene from Toy Story 3, but the new movie will take place several years after the events of that film, so he could be very different now. Maybe Sid was working as a garbage collector while studying computer programming in college, which would give him the skills necessary to program electronic devices. And remember when Woody and several other toys teamed up to reveal to Sid that they were alive and traumatized him? That trauma may have inspired Sid to program a line of children's tablets with self-awareness, not through magic like the toys, but through technology instead. Sid always showed a passion for experimenting and innovating, so this invention would simply be an evolution of a talent he always had. Sid could have done this as a way to get revenge on toys, which would make him the true villain of the new movie. However, even though that motivation makes sense, he does not necessarily have to be the enemy. After all, not every fan believes the Sid from the first Toy Story was truly evil, since he had no way of knowing he was hurting living beings when he performed his strange experiments on toys. It also makes sense to think that, now as an adult, he may have only created Lilypad and the other living tablets because he wanted to create a revolutionary invention, without realizing they would try to replace toys. That would turn Sid into a major ally to the toys, because he would be the only one who knows how to defeat Lilypad. Would you also think it would be amazing if Sid returned in Toy Story 5? If so, comment down below #Sid. Bonnie knows the truth. It seems that Bonnie, the current owner of Jessie, Buzz Lightyear, and the other toys, is going to become addicted to Lilypad and stop playing with her toys. This entire conflict between the toys and the tablet will happen because Jessie wants to help Bonnie, but imagine if it's revealed that Bonnie has known for a long time that toys are actually alive. That would completely change the way we see her, because everyone always thought she was like Andy. In other words, just a child who has no idea that all of her toys have lives and feelings. A child who fully knows her toys are alive and pretends she doesn't know would be something very different and interesting for the franchise. Bonnie could have discovered this at some point during Toy Story 4. Maybe she found out the truth when she created Knifey at the end of that movie. We never saw the scene where Knifey came to life, so it's possible that she moved and spoke in front of Bonnie because she still didn't know that toys are supposed to pretend they are not alive. We even know how the reveal that Bonnie has known the truth for years could happen. An official Toy Story 5 poster shows Lilypad recording Woody, Buzz Lightyear, and Jessie, which suggests that she will record them moving in the movie and show the footage to Bonnie. But imagine how shocking it would be if Bonnie watched the video and simply wasn't impressed because she already knew about it, and Lilypad would end up causing her own downfall here, because Bonnie would realize that her tablet likes manipulating others and blackmailing them, which would lead the girl to abandon Lilypad and start playing with her toys again. Andy's return. We already talked about the possible returns of Lotso and Sid, but if there's someone else who also has reasons to come back, it's the toy's former owner, Andy. And yes, a lot of returns would happen if all these theories are correct, but Disney is not afraid to do fan service and appeal to older fans' nostalgia in its recent movies. So yes, it is completely possible that Andy could return, and we even have an idea of what his role might be if that happens. Since Bonnie is going to stop paying attention to her toys during the movie, Andy might visit her to see how his old toys are doing. If Andy realizes that Bonnie stopped playing and only cares about the tablet now, he would definitely want to talk to her and remind her how important toys really are. And it could be that moment between the two of them that makes Bonnie realize she needs to start appreciating Jessie, Buzz Lightyear, Forky, and the others again.
The toys rescue. Another possibility, one that is a little darker, is Bonnie not only stopping playing with her toys, but actually throwing them away. That would be a terrible betrayal, and it's hard to imagine Jessie and her friends getting over something like that. But if that happens, there's a very good chance the toys could be rescued. And who would carry out that rescue, you ask? Maybe Andy himself. That would make his presence in the movie even more emotional, showing that he may have said goodbye to his old friends, but he will always be there when nobody else is. However, this would also make Andy even more disappointed in Bonnie. Imagine donating all your favorite toys to a child because you believe she will take care of them and enjoy them the same way you did, only for her to throw them away and replace them with a tablet? Yeah, not cool at all. And if you're not subscribed yet, you know what to do. Click and hit the bell so you don't miss any videos.
Forky's End. Forky was the biggest star of Toy Story 4, with the story revolving around him because he was created by Bonnie and became her favorite toy. But that very fact may end up being what dooms him in Toy Story 5. If Forky came to life because of Bonnie's love, what will happen when she replaces him with a tablet and stops loving him? The answer is something very, very bad, such as Forky losing his life and turning back into a normal fork. And the same thing would happen to Knifey, who also came to life because of Bonnie. That would make Jessie's mission to defeat Lilypad even more important, because winning back Bonnie's love would be the only way for Forky and Knifey to come back to life. The end of technology. This movie will probably bring the biggest threat toys have ever faced, because now the problem is not being caused by just one villain, but by a change happening throughout society itself. Lilypad may eventually be defeated, but there will still be many other children abandoning their toys because they are more interested in electronic devices. Now imagine if a group of Bonnie's toys, along with other abandoned toys, decided they were going to do everything possible to destroy not just one tablet, but all technology in the world? That would take this story to a completely insane level. Those toys would believe they were saving themselves, but Jessie would probably realize that destroying all technology would cause a true apocalypse and could even begin the end of humanity itself. So she, Woody, and Buzz Lightyear would definitely try to stop that from happening. The end of toys. We want to pretend this could never happen, but we cannot ignore that there is, in fact, a strong chance Toy Story 5 could end with the toys losing and no longer being used by children. Even Even though that would be somewhat dark, it would also be realistic, and Pixar has already shown the courage to make bold choices in several of its movies. An interesting way to do this ending would be to show that it is not entirely a bad ending. Maybe Jessie and her friends will understand that they do not need to be needed by humans in order to keep existing, just like Woody and Bo Peep realized when they became wanderers.
It's almost over, but until then, you can stay with us. There are 2 super fun videos waiting for you. Thanks, and see you next time.